Okay, time for the weekly what sold video. Definitely this week was not as good as last week. If you guys didn't watch that video, I'll link it up here. I had almost $3,000 in gross sales. So keep in mind, that is my gross numbers. That does not include the fees that you have on eBay or Poshmark or the cost of goods, but still, it was a crazy week for me. So I was super thankful for that. This week, like I said, was not as good. Yesterday was like good, and then Wednesday was horrible. I think I made like, I don't even know, 2 or 3. And then yesterday, Poshmark was horrible. I had one sale the entire 24 hours. I had one sale on Poshmark. So thank goodness for cross-listing, because otherwise my sales would be complete trash. So if you're new here, my name is Heather. I am a full-time reseller. I live in Iowa. I thrift mostly over in Omaha, Nebraska. We have lots of thrift stores available around here with pretty good prices. So I'm lucky where I live that I have access to lots of inventory. I do 3 videos a week, mostly thrift hauls and what sold videos with some other ones sprinkled in. So if that sounds good to you and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing that down below. Also, my social media information is down below, where I post daily tips and tricks, ways to help you make more money. So feel free to check out all of that. If you've already subscribed, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate your support and watching my videos. We are growing our community here in this channel, and it's so exciting. We are going to get into it. Please give this video a thumbs up to start out and comment anytime throughout. That does help push this video out into the YouTube algorithm, which in turn helps it to get more views. So hopefully I can help more people on their reselling journey. So we are going to start with Depop, and Depop was actually good for me this week. I think this is the best week I've ever had on Depop. One day I literally had 5 sales in a day, and I'm like, what is happening? So that was amazing. So let's just get going on there. So the first thing I sold was this vintage gunny sack dress. This was a like classic 70s prairie style dress. I think I paid $90 to $100 for this at a thrift store. I did sell it for $200 on Depop, and their fees are pretty good. I'm still gonna get $172.01 of a payout. So making $70 profit, I'm willing to pay $100 to make $70 profit, because I don't normally make $70 profit on my normal bread and butter type sale. So that was really exciting. That offer came through last night. Next up was a pair of rag & bone jeans, which I hardly ever pick up, but these were a pair of low-rise flare jeans, and I feel like that style is really in, so I went ahead and grabbed those. I accepted an offer on those of $45. And then I sold this French Kiss coat, which is not a brand that I've actually never even heard of it. I wouldn't recommend like going out and looking for it, but why I got this coat is because I was looking for things for the mob wife trend. So it's good to keep up with the trends and the cores and the keywords. And if you're kind of getting like old like me, you're gonna have to just do your research. I use TikTok, so I see stuff on TikTok sometimes of just what's trending. Otherwise, you can use Google, you can use Pinterest, like follow people on Instagram and social media that know and that do these kinds of, maybe that wear these kind of trends or do them, I don't know. But like, it is important to do that, because you're gonna be able to sell to like a certain type of crowd, I guess. So this was a faux fur, like kind of looked like mink coat. It was mid-length black, and it sold for $38.30. It's really, really fast. So I was happy with that. It sold like in a couple of hours. So sometimes you don't have to have a brand, although mostly I would recommend that. Next was a pair of Patagonia shorts. These were women's, size large. I found these at a Style Encore on their sale rack, and they sold for $25.50. Next up was a pair of boots. These were a pair of Dan Post men's size 11 leather boots. Kind of worn, but I still picked them up because they were under $10. I sold them for $40 on Depop. Next up was a Heaven by Marc Jacobs shirt. This was actually sad because I got it at a thrift store. I didn't check over things before I left. It had some stains on it, and I couldn't get them out. And then I don't know what happened in the washer, but I feel like I made it worse somehow. But it still sold really fast for $19. So I still made a profit, but if I could have had it in excellent condition, I could have sold it for like 50 bucks. So yeah, I screwed up. That's just normal. Everybody screws up, and it was my turn this week. Next was a bundle of 2 items, which people can just do that on Depop, I guess. I don't think they did it off an offer. Well, I know they didn't. They just put the 2 items and they bought them outright, which was great. And it was 2 Eileen Fisher items. So if you think you know the Depop crowd, think again, because not everybody is into the crazy goth and like grunge and Y2K. Like some of it is just like classic stuff like this. So first was an Eileen Fisher tank top. It was organic linen. It sold for $30. And then the other one was an Eileen Fisher boxy size medium organic linen top, and that one sold for $35. So really nice sale, bundle sale on Depop. Next up, we're still going. Another pair of boots. These were a pair of Justin boots, so cowboy boots are starting to sell good right now. Make sure you have them listed if you don't, or be on the lookout for them at the thrift store. These were a size 9.5, brown leather, and they sold for $42.50. I sold this vintage high sport Australian sweater. I don't know even what this is about, but I had a kangaroo in the front and I felt like it was really cool and very unique. It sold for $22.80. So nothing amazing, but still a good sale to kind of like mix in with my other ones. And that is it on Depop. So if you watch my videos before, you know that usually I make like 1 to 3 sales on Depop a week, if that. So I was really happy about that. Let's go on to Mercari next. Let me know down below how your sales have been this week. Hopefully they're doing good. Hopefully, you know, sometimes you do have bad days and that's normal. But if you're like constantly having bad weeks, then you probably need to change something. Like you probably need to do something different in your business because you shouldn't be always having slow weeks. Okay, first up, Miracle Suit swimsuit. This was new with tags in a size 24. Miracle Suit is a brand I will look for in swimsuits. It sold for $80, so that is amazing. Next were a pair of Miss Me jeans in a size 30. These were a pair of bootcut jeans. I do use Western Rodeo Festival in there because I think a lot of like the cowgirls and the girls that go to the fairs and stuff like that, they still wear these jeans. They sold for $35. And then the last thing I sold on Mercari was a pair of Beyond Yoga leggings. They were in a size extra large and they sold for $34. So keep in mind on Mercari, I do free shipping. I just add whatever I think the shipping cost will be to my listing price. But I just like to use PyroShip because their shipping that they offer is really expensive. So anyway, just a few sales there on Mercari. Let's do Poshmark next. Just waiting for a sale to come through to break that streak because I sold these first pair of jeans yesterday. I wonder if it says what time. No, it doesn't. It was just yesterday sometime. So hopefully a Poshmark sale will come through for me soon today. Okay, first thing I sold were these pair of Everlane jeans. These were in a size 33, the blue curvy 90s cheeky straight. They were new with tags and they sold for $45. I usually am not picking up any Everlane jeans that are used anymore just because they're just oversaturated, I feel like. Even the new ones can be sometimes, but certain styles and sizes can still do decent like this. So be careful with the Everlane jeans. Next was a Dolls Kill Betty Boop cardigan. I got this at a thrift store, super cute. It had tons of likes on Depop, but of course no good offers. It sold for $29 on Poshmark. Next was a Figs maternity shirt. This was a size small. I did not know they made maternity stuff, but they do. It was called the Chira, C-H-I-R-A, and it sold for $22. I sold these Gudrun Shoden pants. I always forget how to say that brand. Size medium. These were cotton, high-rise, loose fit. Sold for $28. This was a pair of pants that when I started going through my inventory, they weren't listed anywhere. So I don't know, they were in my bins. I went ahead and retook the pictures and got them listed, and they did sell within about a month or so. Next was the brand A Piece Apart. So this brand can do good. Look up the style. This was a large alpaca sweater, and it sold for $70, which is amazing. It didn't even have the tag up in the back of the neck. It said A Piece Apart on the tag on the bottom by the material. So if you don't see it at the top, you can always look there. Or if items have like buttons, zippers, and stuff like that, sometimes like logos like Lululemon will be on that kind of stuff. So that's a way you could find out the brand too. Next were a pair of J. Jill pants in a size extra large. These were brown, slim leg Pima cotton, sold for $13. These came from one of Ryan's bins. I actually haven't been listing anything of his recently, but I need to get on that. I need to add, I think I'm gonna add like 5 of his listings to like mine maybe per day. We'll see. I think that'll be a good idea. We do have a couple trips coming up this summer, so I definitely want to get my draft bank built up so that I can still be putting out new listings every day. Okay, next are a pair of Ariat jeans. These were a size 33. They were a mid-rise bootcut jean, and they sold for $31. I just picked up 2 more of those yesterday. A pair of Eileen Fisher pants in a size medium. These were ivory lyocell high-rise pants. They sold very fast for $31. Next was a Ted Baker shirt in a size medium. This was navy blue with a white collar. It had jewels on the collar and it sold for $25. I sold the Storybook Knits cardigan in a size medium. This brand somehow, my sister's texting me about weird family on Facebook. Somehow, did I say somehow? Sometimes it does really good depending on the print. This one was just like some embroidery and like, it wasn't like I've had some before with like animals or like I had a schoolhouse, but this was just like tan and black and white. Anyway, it sold for $16. I've had it for a long time. So if you get Storybook Knits, I would look for the ones with like more of like a theme rather than just like some designs or embroidery. Okay, vintage Joe Montana San Francisco 49ers sweatshirt. This sold for $34. I got this recently. It was in the women's section at a Goodwill. Next to a pair of Judy Blue jeans in a size 31. These were a high-rise slim fit jean and they sold for $30. Another pair of Miss Me jeans. These were a size 26 blue mid-rise bootcut jeans, sold for $25. I sold this Obermeyer coat in a size 8 for $12 because I got it home and the zipper didn't work and then there were some other flaws and I was like, oh, I'm a failure. I did not look at it good at the thrift store. One of these days, why would I say that? Because I still always do it. Look over your stuff at the thrift store before you leave, but like if you don't, what I should have done is like returned it. I know you can return stuff, but I like hate returning stuff. I think it's a hassle and I'd rather just like list it and make a few dollars, which is what I did. So I don't know. Anyway, okay. Lucky Brand vintage inspired jacket. I don't know if this was actually vintage. It literally said vintage inspired on the tag. Size medium brown leather, sold for $55. So that was amazing because I really do not sell Lucky Brand. Next was a Nike sports bra in a size 2X. I sold this for $14. I've had this for quite a while. I took another one to Plato's Closet and they accepted it. So I don't know, I probably wouldn't get that again. A Rock Revival pair of shorts in a size 28. These were like an acid wash look and they sold for $35. Next were a pair of Citizens of Humanity jeans. These were the Blue Boyd low-rise flare and they only sold for $8. I don't know. Like the Rag & Bone jeans were a low-rise flare and they sold for $45. Maybe I could have relisted them higher, but I've had them for so long, like 9 months, and they just kept getting marked down. So that's eventually what they sold for. Okay, let's keep going. Next up is a huge Bolo brand. It's the brand Eskandar. This is a size 1, which I don't know what that equals to in that brand, but it was a light pink silk top and it sold for $75. So the retail is probably over $1,000. So it sells nothing near its retail. But if you can get it cheap, you can still make really great profit on it. Next are a pair of Ariat jeans. Again, these ones were in a size 27, a blue mid-rise bootcut jean, and they sold for $29. I sold a bundle of 2 items for $60. It was a pair of Viore pants. These were a size medium ripstop pants, and then a Ivy & Fisher petite small pink sweater. That bundle together sold for $60 if I didn't say. Also, did I say that last week? Because that's on Friday. Oops, if I did, sorry. Okay, let's move on to eBay. So yeah, Poshmark sales, not the best. Okay, so some of these eBay sales, since I had such a bad day Wednesday, on Thursday, I went into eBay and I went into my subscriber discounts and I sent out a newsletter and I offered, it has like some quick picks of like previous buyers and things. So I sent one out to previous buyers and I gave a 25% off coupon that they could use for 24 hours. And it did help me get some good sales on eBay, which is good because Wednesday's sales were so trash. So I will let you know if the item sold with that, and if you want to figure out the math, you can. First up was a darker WAVS, that's what it said, W-A-V-S. It was a Doll's Kill brand. It was those white leather chaps that I was like super embarrassed to buy. They sold for $70 minus the 25% off coupon, so really good sale there. Next, a pair of New With Tags Hotter, H-O-T-T-E-R. This brand is expensive, but it doesn't resell good. I thought maybe it'd be better because they were new with tags, but no. I've had them for a long time. They were a size 10, and they sold for $25. Next up was an Ivy & Fisher dress. This was New With Tags, size large, tiered tencel dress. Sold for $110 minus the 25% coupon. I sold this fuzzy skirt, F-U-Z-Z-I, that's the brand. I actually have a top of that I just recently got. I think it's coming up in my video on Sunday, so that's a really good thrift haul coming up. This was a size medium navy blue mesh skirt and it sold for $50. Next up was an Anthropologie jacket. In a size large. The sub-brand was Summer of Love, which I've never heard of. It was new with tags. It sold for $70 minus the 25% off coupon. I sold these Athleta pants in a size small. These were the Mercurial crop flare pants, and they sold for $28. I sold a Torrid dress in a size 2X. This was a black tie-dye maxi dress, and that sold for $23. Next up was a vintage Ralph Lauren sweater in a size small. I just recently picked this up. It was wool. It sold for $50 minus the 25% off coupon. I sold these Celine heels from a ThredUp designer box. These were a bit ugly. They were old, and so I listed them low for $25. They offered me $18, and so I went ahead and took that. Next up was a Nilly Low Tan blazer. I just showed this, I think, in a haul. So it sold crazy fast. I listed it for $140. It sold with a 25% off coupon off of that price, but still, like in hours. So that's amazing. That's so great. Next up, American Eagle shorts. These were a size 12, blue distressed high-rise skinny. These used to be mine last summer, but I've actually been taking care of my body and not treating it like crap and putting a bunch of junk into it. So I don't need these anymore, which is great. They sold for $20. So American Eagle distressed shorts are selling good for me right now, not for a lot, but if you want a quick, well, some people say they don't sell good for them. For me, they do. I'm selling them fairly quick of certain styles. So I guess decide what you want for that. Okay, next, LuLaRoe jeans in a size 36. These are a blue high-rise distressed skinny jeans, and they sold for $30. Next up was a pair of mother jeans. These were size 32. They were the high-waisted Rascal ankle fray style. I got them at a store thinking they were new with tags, but then once I started taking pictures, I don't think they actually were. I think like they kept that little mother tag, but it looked like they just like looped it around the belt loop and that was it, because there was like nothing else on the jeans, and I felt like they just seemed kind of worn. So I did list them a little bit lower because of that. They still sold for $62, which is great. I sold this Catherine shirt in a size 3X. This is a burgundy floral pleated plus size top, sold for $20. Next up was Eskandar again. So I don't have any of it left in my closet. I would love to find it again, but it's not very common to find. I think both of those pieces actually got from a consignment store. This was a size 6'8" black silk wide leg pants, and they sold for $125, which is great. No coupon used there, so amazing. Next up was a Lululemon tank top. This was an Align tank top in a size 4, and it sold for $30. I sold this Eileen Fisher size medium blue organic linen cotton blend sweater. I already said sweater, and that sold for $28. Next was another Eileen Fisher sweater. This was a size large. It was gray and black merino wool, very oversized, sold for $50 with a 20% off coupon. I have to like click into the listing and then it'll show me that. Next up was a Wilfred skirt. I sold this really fast. I just listed it. I just showed it in a haul. I got the stain out that was by the waistband, and it sold for $41, so that was great. A new with tags J. Crew sweater blazer. This was a size extra small. I've had this listed for quite a while, and it sold for $32. Next up was a pair of marine layer pants. I weren't sure if these were men's or women's. Turns out they were men's, but I just went ahead and listed them. And they sold for $35 fairly quickly. That one also was with a 20% off coupon. So I always have a 20% off coupon running in my store. And then sometimes I'll send out like a little bit of a better one to like previous buyers. Next up, Eileen Fisher sweater in a size 2X. This is a black and white striped organic cotton sweater, and it sold for $36. I sold these men's North Face boots in a size 14. I had these listed for higher, but since we are ending with winter, I was like, sure, let's just move them out. So I sold them for $45. Next up was an Eileen Fisher jacket. This is a size medium, black mid-length organic cotton coat or jacket. I guess I put both words in there in case people were searching it in different ways. And that sold for $40. Next up was a Tote & Co dress. These outdoor dresses should be starting to sell better right now, so just look up comps on the certain styles, if I can speak. This was organic cotton. It was the Q dress, Q-U-E. Q-U-E? C-U-E. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. And that sold for $28. Okay, Free People jumpsuit, size medium, sold for $30. This sold through the, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Okay, let me just like slow down. Free People movement jumpsuit, burgundy athleisure, sold through the eBay International Shipping Program. Also, that Anthropologie jacket sold through those. So turn that on. You don't have to do literally anything else because it'll just send it somewhere in the United States. I don't remember where. And then they forward it on for you. So it's not any different for you. I sold for $30. Let me see if I can talk. Okay, Ivy and Fisher shirt, size small, green linen tunic, sold for $28. Next were a pair of Miu Miu sunglasses. These came in a thread-up designer box. They were a cat eye style and they sold for $50. Another Eileen Fisher shirt, if you can't tell. I came up on a lot of Eileen Fisher recently, so it's selling really great. This was a size medium, black and white striped cotton hemp blend, and it sold for $28. I sold this Boston Proper top, which I basically would never get this brand, but this was a velvet, like animal print, square neck, very Y2K vibes. So I did pick it up and it sold for $30. Next up was a Prana jacket. This was in a size extra large, cream oversized, and it sold for $30. Next up was an icebreaker jacket in a size medium. This was a navy blue 200 merino wool. I sold it for only $20, but I have had this for about 9 months to a year. I don't know why it's not selling better. Usually icebreaker sells for more than that, but whatever, I don't care. Another Eileen Fisher sweater. This was a size small. It was organic cotton and silk blend, and that sold for $38. Next were a pair of Crocs heels. Yes, Crocs makes heels. They are a size 7 and they sold for $25. I sold this Disney Parks sweatshirt in a size 3X. This was so cute. Oh, and I found this Disney Parks sweatshirt at the Goodwill. I'm keeping it. It's so cute. It has like the quote from Disney and then it has Walt Disney's signature. And then it has like the different areas at Disneyland. Anyway, this one sold for $25. Next up were a pair of Cole Haan shoes in a size 9.5 teal. These sold for $28. I still haven't heard anything from that buyer with the pink ones that told me that they never purchased them. They didn't even look at them. Like nothing's happened with that, so we'll see. A Rachel Comey Target coat sold for me. It was a long puffer coat in a size extra small. This sold for $55 with a 20% off coupon. Also, it was missing the front of one of the snaps, but the comps in this were great. Not all of the Target and designer collaborations do good, but this one did. Next up was a Sundance top in a size large. This sold very fast. It was a velvet burnout silk blend top. They offered me $26.26 for some reason. So I went ahead and took that for the quick sale. And that's it. That's it for my sales, you guys. So hopefully your sales week was pretty good and you are finding good items at the thrift store. I'm going today to watch my niece. She is 13 years old and she's starting to try to get into pro pickleball, which might sound funny, but like she's actually really good. And so she's going to her first pro tournament in Arizona. She already played singles or not singles. She already played doubles women's with a partner she's never had before. And like, she was better than her partner. I think her partner was like, oh, I'll be nice and play with this like 13-year-old kid. And then her partner was the one making most of the mistakes. I was like, ugh. But anyway, today she plays singles. And so my brother-in-law is going to Facebook Live it. So that's so cool. Anyway, that's what I'm doing today. I might go to a thrift store later. My husband's coming back from out of town. So if he comes back late, I don't have to worry about coming home to make dinner. So I might be able to thrift a little bit more later tonight. We'll see what I get done this morning. Okay, I'm going to be done rambling. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Make sure you come back on Sunday. I've got a really good, nice, long haul video to show you. And I'll see you then. Bye.